Have you ever had that feeling that someone's watching you, or the sensation that someone's following you? Many more feelings and sensations for this is the After Dark Podcast. Welcome back, guys, to episode 14 of the most anticipated podcast of October, the After Dark Podcast, with your host, Shiaki. And like my intro? I was thinking that maybe once we hit episode 15, it would go into like the second season of the After Dark Podcast, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Second season on tomorrow, pretty much. Starting second season tomorrow. So like 2 seasons per month, right? So with that in mind, how are you guys? Hopefully you guys are doing all right. Hopefully you guys are having a really good time. Hopefully you guys had a really good Sunday, and are having a great evening tonight. So, let me start off with this. Yesterday, oh my goodness, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was thinking that I was a little freaked out because of the Japanese horror stories that we were reading. Oh man, that they were scary. I'm not gonna lie, they got me because there's some Japanese horror stories that you're not supposed to be saying out loud, right? And in my head, as I was reading some of them, I'm like, okay, which one is it? I gotta like read beyond this one to see if this is it. Oh man, I don't know. But you know what? We're gonna man up and we're gonna be continuing with the scary stories in Japan. So let me just get these tags out of the way, right away, and we'll get going. So let me address what happened in the gameplay today on the episode of Minecraft, the modded Minecraft series, Jurassic Craft. I don't want to give up on it. I don't, but seeing as what happened and like doing the so-called math that we did, it's turning out to be very, very, very hard. Because I don't know, it's just so much moss just for one little egg. It's like one and a half peat moss just to get one egg hatch. And you guys saw that. You guys were witness to today's very unfortunate thingy. But yeah, oh man, I don't know. I am very heartbroken because I like I said, I don't want to give up, but it's forcing my hand, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting for a dinosaur that's never gonna happen because the damn moss is so damn hard to find. We will just have to see on next episode on Wednesday, or how I like to pronounce it because it makes no sense how the D is silent. Wednesday. We will just have to wait. But yeah, almost done with the tags here, and we will get to continue right away. And yeah, we're doing this podcast early today, finally, right? No hesitating, just like a band-aid, just rip it right off. I'm very scared for me, okay? I'm very scared. And yeah, so as I'm doing these tags, my day, it was alright. Aside from the gameplay, it was alright. I think I got sick by eating something like the food that I was given. And it was bad maybe, but I am recovering. Ugh, I don't like throwing up, but it is what it is. So we're over on Twitter right now, and we will see how fast I can do this before my finger gets tired. So yeah, a little recap on what happened yesterday. Yesterday, how can I put it? Yesterday, let's see, I did say that I was I'm not fluent in Japanese. You know what I mean? I know how to read hiragana. Kanji and katakana are, whoa, they're just at the bottom of the barrel. And you know what I mean? I could understand some words, and some words I just be like, what? What would you say? Hold up. Say slower. I'll probably be like nani, and just pass me by, just really, really awkwardly, because that's the thing, you know. But anyways, we are we're done with the tags, and we are gonna be ready. Let's put this over here where I can see. Okay, that's the mouse. Hold up. There we go. Okay. So we got our trusty old iPad here. Give me 1 second. Okay. So yesterday we left off with where is it? Yeah, okay. So yesterday we left off with uh Yumi, I believe her name was Yumi Ona, and she's the snow ghost, the snow woman, traps you if you're stuck in a blizzard. Okay, next one. It is wow, he looks weird. His name is Nopora Dao, or Do Nopora Bao, something like that. And it's said that this creature that usually assumes normal human form, but it is able to wipe its facial features off, so a blank stretch of skin is left where the eyes, nose, and mouth should be. These creatures do not harm anyone in the stories, but simply scare people. There's no telling if they could scare you to death, so watch out. Pompoko. Studio Ghibli's Pompoko includes a scene with the Nopura something, which is the story is actually a shape-shifting raccoon parading as a Nopuro Nopura. I don't know, but it is very weird looking and has no eyes and no nose, just a mouth and bald. Okay, so I am looking at this list, right? And pretty much these are just like your standard Oni ghost, like Onis or yokai, I guess you can call them. And they're enough to scare little kids. And but we'll continue. We'll continue with this. The next one, her name is Dukuru Kudo. Oh, Kudo. That is a lot of coups. Okay. The Dukuru part of the name is known origin. It has an unknown origin, but the kanji refers to as neck, which is how this ghost is typically identified. They can appear as regular humans, but can stretch their necks to abnormal length. They're also another type of Rukuru no. Wait, what's her name again? Rukuru no Kudu? Rukuru no Kudu, I believe. Whose head can detach from the neck and fly around freely. This one's called the. Oh my god. Okay, I got this. I can read Japanese. I just have to spell it out, just like when you started off as a kid. No, the ku the or something like that. Escape neck is the name of it, and refers to the head which escapes the neck and body, typically illustrated as a female. There are some instances of stories of a male. Huh. Cause I know all of these yokai that I seen here. They're very popular yokai among Japanese culture. And if you've seen the kids show, like the little kid cartoon show called the Yokai Watch, it is pretty much the same thing, just kid friendly versions of the actual yokai, resembling pretty much horrible spirits, and sometimes even malevolent, but it can also be just just that. Hold up. Okay, let me do something. Hold up, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, the next one, her name. Okay, hold up. Her name is let me see. Oh boy, I can't do this at the same time. It's so weird to do this. I'm not ready for this. This episode has got me with my pants down. I should have read the hiragana chart before coming in here, but you know, we're not always prepared. I mean, we're never prepared for anything. Okay, so it's Nuha, I believe that's the name of it. Hmm. I just need to find that damn kanji thing. I mean, not kanji, but like the thing. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. Hold up. I can't pronounce this one because I can't find it. Hmm. I think I'm feeling kind of stuffy in the nose. Hmm. I cannot find this hiragana to save my life. It's so weird. So it's nude, right? No, no. Yeah, it's okay. So it's nudeona. Okay, and a relative of the yokai that we just mentioned with Rukuru, literally means wet woman, and has the head of a woman and a body of a snake. An image of this nu, Nurona, uh, is shown in the illustrated volume of 100 Demons. It's a lot of kanji, which is from the Edo period and show ghosts, spirits, and monsters based on folklore. Purpose isn't quite clear. Okay, the Nurona's purpose isn't quite clear, and stories about her involve her luring people into the water by pretending to drown and then killing them. Other stories categorize the Nurona as tame creatures that are simply trying to wash their hair. In these stories, she only acts violently when people bother her during her hair washing ritual. Never interrupt a woman's beauty regimen, people. And that is true. Let your women bathe. Don't rush them, please. You don't wanna meet with the nudiona, nudo, nudo, nurona. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. If I am mispronouncing the name, I do apologize. Which my Japanese is a little rusty. I should get back on the hype train. I'm trying to learn. So, moving on to the other yokai. Her name, another woman, is right. Looks like a woman. I mean, it has a. Yeah. Okay. So her name is Futakura Onna. Again, Onna, which right? Let me see. Nah, yeah. Futakura Onna. Futakura Onna. No. It's not my bad. It's who ni maybe. Um, hmm. I think it's chi then, right? Yeah, it's futachi, futakuchi ona, futakuchi ona. Okay, and literally means two mouth woman, or describes this futaku chiona, futakuchi ona. Wait, no, described as yokai perfectly. Okay, this woman has a normal mouth in the front, which doesn't eat much or at all, but in the back of her skull, underneath all her hair, she has a second mouth. The second mouth can control the woman's hair to form tendrils that will reach out and grab food to feed itself, and it's completely ravenous. Stories of how Stories of how the second mouth came to be differ, but they tend to include a miserly husband, which made the second mouth appear. So penny pinchers, beware. Other stories credit the second mouth to the woman's own miserly ways. In these stories, the woman keeps food from her stepchild, who dies and becomes the attached second mouth in order to torment and exact revenge on the terrible stepmother who wouldn't feed him. Now, both stories are terrifying because one, if you are the kind of dude that pretty much, wails on your wife or girlfriend about, uh, being, being obese, I guess, or overweight, you may want to choose your words wisely. I mean, come on, there is a lot of ways to say, hey, you know what, we should do something about things. I don't know. Okay, I'm not the very much, I'm not very good with words, as you guys can see. Okay, so I do apologize. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But yeah, I mean, still, either way, you don't want to be messing around with what you say to a woman and her weight or eating habits. So do be wary. Do be wary indeed. So, moving on to another one. Okay. Oh, okay. So it is. So this one, I know this one. I know the hiragana for this one and the kanji. And this other yokai, his name is a tengu, which, literally means heaven dog. These have an origin that begins in China, where the creatures resemble a dog. When or how the Tengu began to have features of birds and human is unknown, so the image is this creature has changed over time and between countries. Originally considered to be this disruptive and warring demons. Their story has changed a lot. Now they're considered to be protectors of mountains and forests. They're still very sly and can be dangerous. There are many different stories featuring the Tengu and its level of ghostly rage, so I wouldn't do anything to tick it off if I were you. The Tengu, this mask is very notorious because I've seen it everywhere. Like when I was not, well, when I'm curious about Japanese folklore, they always see this mask. It's a red mask, and like the dude's nose is like so big, right? And it also has something on its top. But the feature of this yokai is definitely the nose, and of course the Tengu. Now we go on to another yokai, which I know the kanji and the hiragana of this one as well, and this one's called an oni, which I believe oni means demon, right? Do tell me if I am correct, but these ghosts are closer to demons, devils, or ogres in appearance and behavior, rather than Western ghosts. However, these guys really do run the gambit of paranormal beings. The physical description vary, but generally they're ugly, large, and have claws and horns. Their skin is often depicted as being either red or blue. They wear loincloth and carry kanabao. Hold up. Let me see. yeah, kanabo. Kanabo. Yeah, a kanabo, similar to a club or stick, only appear in Japanese children's stories, such as Peach Boy, uh, Momotaro, 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 and the Red Ogre Who Cried, Na, oh, Naita, Naita Okao ni, Oni, yeah, which is a story about kind-hearted red and blue ogres. Okay, so just one more little paragraph. Now we're going to move on to some more complementary scary stories and urban legends beyond traditional folklore. There are some new scary stories and urban legends that have circulated in Japan. They are often previous as they have quite relevant to our modern lives here. Okay, so before we move on to the other one, to the other section of this website, which by the way, the website is called fluentu.com. So if you guys want to read more about the yokai, come read it. But the Oni, I know it's supposed to be like an ogre type the monster, and always carrying around a club looking thing. Kanabo. Okay, that's what they're called. And I took inspiration from the yokai as well when I began to draw the Monster Girl series that I have, the Monster Girl lineup that I have. Some of them are really just inspirations from Japanese folklore, and one of them is resembling an oni. If I could like edit like live stream and make it so that the picture pops out on the screen, I would. But this is a live stream, it's not a video. We will keep going, okay? So the next yokai is called Ku. Oh, here we go. Okay, hold up. I don't know that one. This is so weird. Kuchi. Okay. So it's what's the other one? Kuchi. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so this one's called the Kuchisake Onna. Oni? Right. Kuchisake. No. Onna. Yeah, Onna. So it's Kuchisake Onna. And, okay. This one I know very much so I know this one. So, this is pretty much is the slit-mouthed woman. As the name implies, is a woman whose mouth has been slit. Just like the Joker's mouth would be slit from ear to ear. The slit extends up to both her ears as a terrifying gash across her face. The story goes that her husband mutilated her with scissors. The legend has evolved to include a cautionary tale that will happen if you meet the Kushiona, right? I don't know. Anyways, if you meet her, okay, she'll ask you whether you think she's pretty, and your life depends on your answer, of course. If you say no, you're not pretty, she'll kill you with her scissors. But if you replied yes, she'll reveal her slit mouth. Because she usually, in the stories that I read and in the movie that I've seen too, she usually comes across you with like the mouth protectors. Like the ones with, like. So like no germs can enter to your body. Those, the surgical mask, I guess you could say those. And she usually comes with that in her face, and she tells you if she's pretty or not. So if you say no, she'll kill you right away. But if you say yes, she takes the surgical mask off, revealing her mouth, and and she asks whether you still think she's pretty or not. If your answer here will be a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. So either way, you're pretty much dead if you say yes or no in that situation. If you answer yes, she'll give you the slit as her own, so both of you are pretty. If you say no, she'll kill you, of course. Another layer to the legend is a way to escape, answering ambiguously or ask a question back, which will confuse her and give you time to escape. A way to outwit ghosts the besides whatever that is. I forgot. I don't know. I don't know the kanji for that. Oh, it's ofuda, ofuda. Shinto writing contains the name of the god. Okay, but yeah. So, if you ever come across a woman with a surgical mask telling you that if she's pretty, beware. Just answer her back with another question saying, "Do I look pretty?" you know, damn. I don't know. Make up something on the spot. But we move on. We move on to the other yokai, or ghost actually. This is pretty much more like a demon kind of thing. And her name is Hanako-san. Hanako-san? Oops. Right? Hanako-san? Hanako. Yeah. Her name is Hanako-san. And Hanako-san refers to a female spirit that haunts school bathrooms. The legend is that she'll appear if you say her name in the third stall in the bathroom on the third floor. The legend has been whispered around many a Japanese elementary school, similar to the way in which children in the West whisper about seeing Bloody Mary in the mirror. Perhaps Hanako-san is a distant relative of Moaning Myrtle from the Harry Potter series. Now, I have read about this one, and she is interesting because for some reason she only appears in the third floor in the bathroom on the third stall. Now, would this continue? Will she appear in multiple instances if she is summoned in different bathrooms? Like, let's say a boy does it in the boys' room, and then a girl does it in the girls' room, but then across the hall or down the hall, there's two more bathrooms and they do it at the same time. Would it happen? It's just like that myth that supposedly said that I forgot where I got it from, but supposedly if you would to flush the toilet, all the toilets in the school at the same time, the pipes will blow up or something like that. I think it was a school, but it's the same thing with this one. Let's say you invoked Hanako-chan or Hanako-san in in everywhere. Will she explode too, or would you all be doomed to see it? So, let me see. We have two more yokai and on this list, and we'll move on to the other one. So, let me see. So, in this yokai, his name is Gaji. Oh my god, dude. It's slipping. Gaji Dokuru. Gaji Dokuru? Right? Let me see. I'll read it. Gashi. Yeah, Gashi. Gashi. Yeah. Gashi. No, it's not she. It's Gaja. Gaja, I believe. Gaja. Let's go down. Gaja. Gajado Kuru. Gajado Kuru. I believe that's the name of this yokai, and he is a huge skeleton, much larger than normal skeleton size. Allegedly, the bones of people who died of starvation. One makes a quick appearance on a festival scene from the Studio Ghibli's Pom Poko. Really though, there's no need to supersize skeletons. That's creepy. Yeah, I seen this one too, and I seen this yokai in particular in many other anime as well. Very big, a bit bigger than normal. So, the last yokai that this list has is Jiao. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know how to read I don't know how to read it. Hold up, I got this. Just give me 1 second, and I will get to it. Jabo, Jaboko, Jaboko, I believe the name is Jaboko, and it's a vampire tree that appears in former battlefields and survives in human blood from people it grabs who are unfortunate enough to wander by. The tree doesn't appear different from tree to tree, but if chopped down, bleeds blood instead of sap. How you chop a vampiric tree down without being grabbed and becoming the next victim seems like a good question. Now that you know about some popular and classic Japanese ghost stories, you should be prepared if a Japanese ghost attacks or wanders along your path. There are many books, mangas, and movies that these ghosts are featured in. Some instances are mentioned above, so be sure to look up some specific stories and features of these yokai. Images and videos can be pretty terrifying too, so if you want to explore the dark side, go ahead and Google all these guys. Happy hunting. And thank you, Fluentu.com for FluentU.com for these awesome urban legends. So we go from one website to the other, and this one's called the Ranker.com. Oh, sorry. And this the article's called "The Creepiest Japanese Urban Legends to Keep You Up at Night," and it's by Jen Lennon. Thank you, Jen Lennon. Okay, so we will read them. Yeah, okay, so we will read them. We'll read the header of this page and we'll continue. So there's so many scary urban legends from Japan. The country has a rich history of ghost stories. Yurei, or ghosts, are the subject of many classic folk tales, but Japan doesn't have creepy folklore. There are plenty of modern Japanese urban legends that are so scary you can't even speak them out loud without becoming cursed. You see what I mean? Oh, this is what I'm talking about. I don't want to become cursed. Jesus. The list includes many terrifying tales from Japan. There is somehow more than one story of a ghost haunting a toilet, which we've already heard about, the little girl. There are also stories about secluded villages, murderous families, women with sharp objects. You name a terrifying thing, this list has it, including dolls that what you didn't think you were doing to be prepared, to be spared a scary doll story. Enjoy this creepy urban legends and try not to get scared. Okay. Alrighty then. Hold up. Let me open my water bottle. It is a what's it called? Sparkling water. But the first story that we have in front of us is the same as the one that we read before in the other website. Kashikisaki's Ona. Which is pretty much the slave-mouthed woman. I do apologize. I did take a drink of water before doing this, so we'll skip that one. And I don't want to be cursed, boys. I don't want to be cursed. I'm gonna take this like as carefully as I can because I don't, like I said, I don't want to get cursed. So let me see. Hold up. Okay. So this other urban legend is called the Teke Teke. Okay, and this story starts out with a tragedy. A girl was accidentally pushed off a platform at a train station just as the train was pulling in. She was cut in half and died on impact. Sometime later, a boy was walking home from school alone. He saw a girl through a window. She was leaning on the windowsill with her elbows looking outwards. When she saw the boy, she pushed herself through the open window. What? There was nothing the boy could do except stand there, horrified. He had seen a girl fall from the window, and on any other day, that probably would have been his low point. It might have even been the low point of his whole life if he got to live it. See, after the girl hit the ground, the boy realized something. She had no lower body. As he was trying to process this, the girl pushed herself up and with her hands started crawling towards the boy. She was at his feet before he had time to run. He didn't even realize what she was carrying until the scythe was midway through his waist. Uh, as the two halves of his body fell to the ground, it was the sound that she made as she dragged herself towards him. Teke teke, that he heard last. So, teke teke pretty much means the like you hear this, like if you tap your hands, it sort of makes that noise, that teke teke, like you hear that teke 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 teke. So, pretty much means it's like this little girl with no waist pretty much crawls towards you, and all you hear is that's all you hear. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. They're not gonna be. I don't know. I'm probably gonna be the fastest man alive. Usain Bolt's gonna have some like competition that night. Let me tell you why. Oh, dude. Okay, moving on. This other one's called the Akamanto. Okay. Let me pre-read this. If I see anything about any curse, I'm not reading it. You guys can read it if you guys want. But hold up, give me 1 second. Okay. So I think this one's safe. Okay, so the Akamanto is as if public bathrooms weren't already scary enough. There's a Japanese urban legend called Akamanto, or Red Cape, about some weirdo in a mask who hides out in the last stall of women's restrooms and asking his victims a question that's nearly impossible to answer. Get the answer wrong, and you die a horrible death. If you get the answer right, you live, but you still been playing 20 questions in a bathroom with a ghost. There's kind of no way to win with this guy. The legend goes that like this. Red Cape was extremely handsome in real life, attracting the attention of every woman who saw him. He became so fed up with women desiring him only for his looks that he began wearing a white mask, a tradition he continued on to his death. When you enter the last stall in a woman's restroom that he haunts, you'll hear a voice. Red Cape or Blue Cape? It asks. Answer red, and he'll tear your shirt off and the skin on your back. The blood will make it look like you're wearing a red cape. Answer blue, and he'll strangle you to death, leaving your body dazzling with the dazzle shape of periwinkle. Saying something else like pink or leopard print with feather trims, please. The two hands will reach up from the toilet, dragging you down to hell. Say nothing and you get to walk away, contemplating whether that was even the worst experience you've ever had in the bathroom or not. You know what? This is why I don't go to public bathrooms. Even here in California, I don't touch it at all. You know, I mean, I go in for one thing and one thing only. You know, I'm going to number one, in and out. You know, like, do your business, wash your hands, out. You're not gonna catch me in a public bathroom for more than 5 minutes. 2 minutes is all I need, and that's it, boy. I'm out. Okay. Moving on. This other urban legend is called the Dream School. Okay, and according to legend, if you don't forget this story within a no. If you're worried about being cursed, don't read. Okay, yeah, we're not reading this. The Dream School can go and suck it, okay? Because we are not gonna not forget this story, okay? So if you guys want to read it for yourselves, do so yourself. So the urban legend is called Dream School. Just Google Japanese Dream School, and you know, good luck. Okay. Hold up. I'm rereading this like the other one to see if there's any indication of this is gonna happen to me, because if it is, I'm stopping it right here. I'm doing so. Okay. Okay. So this urban legend is called "The Girl from the Gap," and I'm not talking about the store. I'll stop. Okay. So it goes. You know that small gap between your dresser and the wall, or between your bed and the floor? Don't look in there, because if you see a pair of eyes staring back at you, you're in trouble. The first time you see a girl looking at you from a small gap, she'll ask you a question. She'll ask you if you want to play hide and seek. You don't really have a choice. Even if you say no, you're still locked into her game, which isn't so much a game as it is an exercise in never letting your eyes lock on a gap ever again. If you see her for the second time, she'll drag you to hell. Now that's unfair. Hold up. Because there's gaps everywhere, and I actually seen, I forgot where it was. Hold up. Let me look it up. Because there is such a like a little disc, and I have it too, and for the PSP as well. And I forgot what's it called. I forgot the story of it. Well, not the story, but I forgot the movie. It is a movie, I guess, but you know. Hold up. I'll let you guys know the thing. Oh, and by the way, while I am looking through this thing, okay, I forgot to recommend the movie yesterday nights again. I am such a derp. I'm such a derp. But yesterday I did posted it in the description of yesterday's episode, and the movie that I recommended yesterday was The Evil Dead from the 1981 horror fantasy movie. So, if you guys haven't checked that out, you guys should do so. I am very serious about that movie. Very serious. Crap. I can't find it. No, it's not it. That's not it. No. Can't find it. All I'm finding are creepy pictures on the internet that I don't want Google to be like, hey, you looked this up yesterday. You want to see more of it? No, I don't. But there is I think it's called the Japanese Urban Legends or Scariest Urban Legends. And there is like a short film about this the girl from the Gap, and this guy pretty much just go crazy because like throughout his apartment, like he tapes over gaps, like you won't see a corner without tape over it because he got like locked into her game, So, we'll continue. Let me see. This other one's called The Legend of the Red Room. Let me see. I don't know once it appears. It's red. No, I don't want to. Okay, so there is a link to the website that I don't want to do it. No. Should we skip it? No, let's not skip it. So, The Legend of the Red Room comes from an interactive flash video. In it, a boy hears about an internet pop-up ad that asks, "Do you like?" His friend, "Do you like?" and then blank. His friend tells him, "Anyone who gets the pop-up dies." The boy doesn't believe him, so he goes home and searches the internet for more information. He can't find any mention of the pop-up, so he figures his friend was just trying to scare him. He closes out all of his searches and reads some of the favorite websites instead. A little while later, he gets a pop-up. It's red with black text, "Do you like?" It reads, a child voice repeats the question. He tries to close the window, but it appears. He keeps clicking and clicking, closing and closing, but it keeps coming back up. The text changes. It reads, "Do you like red?" The voice echoes a change. Now he's frantic, desperately trying to close the pop-up. Finally, the voice asks, "Do you like the red room?" A new website appears. It's red with black text, just like the pop-up. It's got a list of names in it. His friend is at the bottom, and hands reach out towards the boy's neck, and the video cuts to a scene at school where multiple children are talking about two boys who committed suicide, painting their walls red with their own blood before dying. There's a surprise at the end of the video, but I would spoil it for you. Go ahead, see for yourself if the legend is real. And this website provides a link that I am not pushing. Now, first of all, it's what's it called? It's a laptop, right? Let's see. Well, okay. If it was a laptop, why couldn't he just close the damn top? Close it, case closed. If it's a desktop, let's unplug everything. Close it or something. Case closed, right? Or like tilt the monitor downwards to the damn thing. I don't know. There's so many ways this little kid could have like prevented the death, but you know, who really knows? So this next one's called Tomino's Hell, man. Okay, so I know this one. Okay, so here it is. This is the legend. This is not the poem, because this is one of the urban legends that I say that I cannot read out loud. Okay, so it says, in 1919, Saijo Yaso published a collection of poetry that include a poem called Tomino's Hell. It describes a young boy's experience in hell after committing unspeakable acts. The poem is already pretty creepy, but the legend that surrounds it is even worse. It is said that if you read the poem, you must read it on your own, in your head, and never read it out loud. If you read the poem out loud, it causes disasters, and sometimes even death. You can read David's bowless translation of the poem here. Just keep it to yourself. Okay? There's a link. I'm not reading it. Moving on. If you guys want to read about Tomino's Hell, just Google it. And, you know, don't read it out loud. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you guys, so please keep it to yourself. Okay, so moving on, and this one is called the Himoru Mansion, which I believe we've already wait, did we already read it? No. Okay, I heard it somewhere else, but we didn't read it, but let's read it. Okay, if you believe this legend, there's a secluded abandoned mansion just outside of Tokyo where a series of brutal murders was carried out. The family who lived there would carry out a sick practice called the strangling ritual. They believed that there was a portal in their property that brought them bad karma from within the earth. So in order to seal the portal, they would choose the local village girl at birth, raise her in isolation, and then tie her wrists and ankles and neck to 5 oxen, which would then rip her limbs and her head off her body. They would then take the rope, soak it in her blood, and lay it in the entrance of the portal. This protected them for 50 years. Let me put quotation marks on top of protected them for 50 years, because for all we know, they could have probably been just crazy. Okay? But something went wrong during the last ritual. The woman was supposed to have been raised in isolation, had formed a bond with the man who tried to rescue her. Because of this, the ritual didn't work, and the patriarch murdered his entire family before falling on his own sword. Now the mansion is said to be haunted by his family. Rumors has it that the walls are splattered with blood, fresh blood. Blood of the unfortunate people who go looking for the mansion, looking for a thrill, not knowing that the ghosts of the family are waiting for the next victim to for the strangle ritual. If you guys do go to Tokyo, don't go look for this mansion. And do not. I don't want to see in the news, like, I'll be drawing, all of a sudden I see in the news, two people went go looking for Himoto's mansion, and all of a sudden they never come back. Hey, you don't do it. Leave the mansion alone. Leave. Okay. This next one is called the Okiku doll. Okay. And it goes, you probably don't need a reminder about why so many people are afraid of dolls, but there's another terrifying story just in case. There's an actual doll, not a mythical one. This doll actually exists, and it's known as the Ikiku doll, on display on a temple in Japan. Why is the doll on display in a religious temple? Because rumor has it that her hair grows on its own for no apparent reason, and if that weren't upsetting enough, a sample has supposedly confirmed that the hair that grows from the doll is indeed human. The doll was originally given to a two-year-old girl by her brother in 1918. She died a year later, and her family kept the doll as a remembrance of her, but soon they noticed that its hair appeared to be growing. So they brought it to the priest, who observed it for a few months and confirmed the story. The doll, which was named after the little girl who owned it, was put on display in the temple and remains there to this day. The Okiku doll. I mean, this is not a scary story. It's just like a sad story. I mean, just like I said, in Mexico, there's a tradition called El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And it pretty much means, the one day that the dead can come to the living, to the land of the living, and just reunite with family. And this is why the movie, what's the movie called? The Book of Life. It pretty much makes sense because someone doesn't really die. Someone doesn't really die if you never forget about them. You get what I'm saying? So if your aunt or uncle, mom or dad, sister, brother, your daughter, son, etc., the list goes on, if they happen to meet their tragic end before their time, they're never gone because, you can celebrate. You can celebrate with them on November 2nd, even though you're not Mexican. You don't have to come from Mexico to be celebrating El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Whether you're from America, Japan, Russian, German, I don't care where you're from, you can still celebrate this glorious day with your loved ones on November 2nd. I think that's the Day of the Dead. Hold up. Yes, November 2nd. No matter who you are, you can still always enjoy one more time with the loved ones. So the thing is, I'm getting sidetracked from the story from Okiku doll. But the thing is, with the Day of the Dead, El Día de los Muertos, is you pretty much display, in tradition to the day, you display a bunch of the person's liking. So let's say one person cereal, they like eating cereal a lot. You would put a bowl of cereal right there, and then for that person to eat, and then it goes on like that. Let's say another one liked spaghetti. You make spaghetti for him or her, and boom, they're happy. And you always light a candle and say prayer, so your loved ones can come with you for one night, and they can leave happy until the next year. So, Okiku doll, it's not really scary to me. It's more of, it's nice that the parents never forget their daughter. Yes, there's some limits to it, but never forget. And instead of exercising the doll like other people would, they have her on display. They have her for the memory of Okiku to live on for a long time. So, moving on, I am getting kind of like, getting in the mood here. Let me see. This one's called Guzo. Oh, Gozu. Gozu. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is another one that I don't want to read out loud because of the thing. So we're gonna skip this one completely because, like I said, there's some Japanese stories that actually come true as you read them, and this is why I take the time, just to scan over the thing. And if I do see some red flags popping up, I ain't saying nothing. So I do apologize, but if you guys want to go and read up on this legend, it's called Gozu, Gozu. So if you guys want to look it up. Anyways, we move on to another one. It's called the Purple Mirror. Give me time, okay? Hold up, because I don't want nothing. Okay. Okay. So this one's safe, okay? This one's pretty safe. Because if you're over the age of 20, we will all be safe. We are all over the age of 20, right? Raise your hands. I can't see them. You in the back, how old are you? I see you, like, hiding. Tell me your age, damn it. Because if you're under 20, this will happen to you. So if you're under 20, pause the video. Pause the video and give me like 5 minutes to read. And if you're over 20, then we're good. You can read this, okay? So, it goes. If you're over the age of 20, good news. You won't be affected by the story at all. But for all you teenagers out there, think carefully about reading on. Wait a minute. Should I even read it? Because it's not fair. I don't know. I don't know. It's not fair. Because if I do have some, under 20 audience, I don't want bad things to happen to you guys. So, I think we're going to have to skip this one, too. The Purple Mirror is called. If you're over the age of 20, go read it. Just type in on Google Japanese Purple Mirror, and you'll I know what it is. But if you're under the age of 20, don't do it. Even if you say I am 19 and a half, just wait until like another half and then read it. Don't do it now. So, okay, so this one I think I can read, and this one's called the Inunaki Village, okay? And it goes, well, this is just great. As if there wasn't enough to worry about. Dolls, toilet ghosts, ghost hitchhikers. Now we have to deal with secluded, lawless village as well. Apparently deep in the foothills in Japan, there is a village called Inunaki. There is a gate out in front with the sign warning outsiders that the laws of Japan don't apply to their settlement. And inside, just imagine what lawlessness could do to a place. There's cannibalism, murder, robbery. Oh, and good luck getting out, because once you enter, you never return. Woo! Inunaki Village, huh? Yeah, you can keep your laws, dude, or lawless. I don't know. But that is very creepy. You go in, you're a tourist, and, because it's lawless, I'm pretty sure what they're gonna have outside the sign is just Japanese, and if you don't know Japanese, you're pretty much screwed, because you're a tourist. You want to see what's inside, and you go inside and never come out. Don't go inside it, man. Don't go inside the Inunaki village. Just admire it from afar. Like bring out like binoculars or something. I don't know. Well, anyways, oh, hold up. Because it says that Japan's laws don't pretty much apply in that area. So, what if somebody from the inside comes out? You know, like, would they become immediately arrested just because of the suspicion of murder or robbery or something like that? Huh? It's like a double-edged sword. It's like putting water in a cup. You know, the cup is empty, and we know it's empty. But as soon as we put water in it, water is pretty much gonna be trapped inside. Now, if we put a lid over it, like no matter where it is, if it's halfway or almost done, there's still water inside, but water can't get inside. But as soon as you take the lid off, the water goes inside. So what if the gate opens up and it never closes? What that means that the laws from Japan just pour inside, and all of a sudden, their lawless village become secluded with law. That is a lot to think about right there, because whew, my brain hurts. My brain hurts too much. Okay. Okay. So, let's read one more. And I skipped a couple because I'm reading the titles, and I do think that we've already reading them in the other one. The Tunnel of Japan. Okay, so let's read this one. It's a short one. It's called the Kiyotaki Tunnel, and this tunnel is in northern Japan. Was purposely built, purportedly built by slaves. Many of them died in construction. Combine that with the fact that the tunnel is 444 meters long. 4 is a very unlucky number in Japan, and this place is ripe for rumors of it being haunted. From tales of screaming ghosts to an apparition jumping into the hoods of oncoming cars, this one route you probably want to avoid. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We've already read about the infamous Hanako-san and having to chant her name in very, very different styles, so we won't be reading that one. Kune Kune, I believe we've already read this one, right? I think we have already. Let me see, hold up. I think we have. And it wasn't even, it was like on the urban legends we did on the United States, so we're not gonna read that one. We already read Ghost Taxi about the man picking up the ghost, right? No, we didn't. Okay, so this Ghost Taxi is, in traditional legend, a taxi driver picks up a passenger in a dark, quiet road. There's no one else inside. The passenger asks to be taken to an address out of town. The taxi driver obliges and lets the passenger settle in for a long ride. They don't talk much. When they arrive, the driver turns around to find the back seat empty. The passenger has disappeared. This tale is often told from a personal perspective, with speaker claiming it happened to a relative or a friend of a friend. Now, this story also is pretty different from Who You Ask, because the version I read is that this taxi person picked up a woman. The woman tells him to take her to like a cemetery or something like that, and once they get there, she tells him if she can just stay here and just to bring her back to the location she found her. So they stay there for a while. She tells him to go, and finally the taxi comes back to the place where she picked her up. But as soon as she picked her up, she's gone, and since it's raining, she was like wet, so where she was, it's just a big puddle. And so the taxi driver's there, and all of a sudden he hears a tapping on his window, and it's a man with cab fare saying that this happens almost all the time. The person that died is his daughter, and she just goes to see where she dies or something like that. I don't know, but it turns out that the ghost, it's tells the driver to bring her back, and then the dad pretty much pays the fare. First of all, that's some bull. Okay. Ghost, please have your wallet ready, man. Come on, man. Poor dad is probably like spending like 30 or 40 bucks every night. Oh my god. But, this last story we're gonna read is called let me see. Yeah. It's called 9 Hapiyaku Bikuni. Alright? And it goes, this is another Japanese folktale, which teaches a very important lesson of not eating mermaids. Don't eat the pretty ladies in the sea, people, please. There was a fisherman who caught a mermaid while out in the sea. He took it home, cooked it, and invited many of his friends over to partake in the meal. But he didn't tell them what he was cooking. And one of the guests slipped into the kitchen and saw the fish he was butchering had a woman's face. He warned the other guests not to eat it, and they all slyly slipped their servings of fish into their pockets as they ate. One man forgot to empty his pockets and threw away the fish. And when he returned home, his daughter asked for a treat. Oh boy, I can see where this is going. He had too much sake, and without thinking, gave her the fish. Everything was fine until years later she realized she was no longer aging. The woman married several times, outliving all her husbands as they grew old, and she did not. Eventually, the woman realized she could do a lot of good things with all the extra time she had on Earth, and became a Buddhist nun. She dedicated her life to the cause, eventually rising into the ranks of the religion and giving the story its translated title, The 800-Year-Old Buddhist Priest. What? Hold up. And that was pretty much the end of the Japanese legends in this article. But wait, hold up. So the little girl eats, or wait. Hold up. His daughter asked for a treat. So how old is she? Like, if I had a daughter and she would have been like, "Yo, daddy, can I have a treat?" I'm pretty sure she would be like around like 10, maybe 12, around there. And in the story it says that he has too much sake to drink, rice wine, and without thinking gave her the fish. Everything was fine until years later. No. It says years later she is not aging. So if my little girl was 12 and she was, years past and she still looked 12, how the hell is she remarrying and marrying people? Hold up, what the hell? That's just weird, man. That's just plain wrong. But if my daughter was at least like 18 or so, or like let's say 20, why would she ask me for a damn treat? She's old enough to get her own. The story makes no sense, especially that about the whole mermaid eating thing. I thought it was gonna be bad, but it turned out that she actually did good, and it turned out to be the 800-year Buddhist priest, which I wouldn't mind reading about more. So maybe I'll save that for later, for another day. But for now, people, thank you for coming to episode 14 of the After Dark Podcast. Ooh, I feel like I dodged so many bullets, but in the process, I got hit with more than I dodged. Okay. I'm gonna say prayer tonight. Hopefully, none of these tales catch on to me. I mean, if I can get hit with that whole not aging thing, I would be fine with that. But the rest, I don't think I can handle. That's all I can say. I mean, I have, why wouldn't I want to read to you guys the After Dark podcast forever? You know what I'm saying? But I was gonna say, in the words of the game theory. Hopefully, you guys know the YouTube channel. That's just a theory, a game theory. That's just an urban legend, right? Like I said, some urban legends have truth to it, like the Kiku doll, right? That's her name. Hiko, Koki. Okiku doll. She's real. Go and check her out for herself. Buy a ticket in Japan and send me a picture of yourself standing in front of the doll. I would like to see it. So, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. 14 episodes. I might, just might, have season 2 tomorrow. Because tomorrow's the 15th and it's technically halfway towards a month. So, season 2 might have 16 episodes. Who knows yet? I'm not sure. So, maybe we'll still keep it on season 1. But now, before I forget, movie recommendation time. Oh, let's see. Should we recommend a Japanese horror movie? I am curious. Would you guys see it? I mean, okay. Alright. So, this is what I told my friend. Foreign horror movies, especially Asian horror movies, they're like level 10 horror movies. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because you can have you have pretty good horror movies here in the States, but to me it just feels like they would be like level 3 to level 4 horror movies, you know? And Asian horror movies are just up there with the what the hell did I just see factor, you know, like, oh god, and I'm checking every room in my house just to see if whatever I just saw didn't manifest itself from the TV to the real world. And you know, it's just advanced horror in my opinion. This is my personal opinion. Don't crucify me. Don't come knocking on my door. Be like, and see a mob with pitchforks and torches, just like in the Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein book. Okay, I don't want to be crucified just yet, or burned to death. Actually, so please, you know, soak your torches in water. Don't take them out of your closet. Don't sharpen your pitchforks either. But this is my opinion, and in my opinion, Asian horror movies are just, you know, you gotta be tough as nails to actually see them. You know what I mean? But if you guys don't believe me, you know what? You know what? Okay, fine. I'll recommend a Japanese horror movie, and this one, pretty much, we've seen the American adaptation already. So you probably guys probably already seen it, and you're probably gonna be telling me, "Ah, you liar! This isn't scary at all." Movie recommendation for tonight is the Japanese version, not the American version, Ringu. 1998 movie. Mystery and thriller. It runs for an hour and 36 minutes. Okay? Ringu, the Japanese version, not the American version. Because, I mean, yeah, the American version is alright, but to me, Ringu, if you wanted the full effect, if you want to see where it comes from, because, you know, rings, or the ring is not, you know, really the original one. But if you guys want to know where it comes from and see what it's all about, watch Ringu, 1998. Let's see. Let's read some where it comes from and stuff like that. Directed by Hideo Nakataka. Okay, produced by Shinya Kawai and Takoroni Sento. Okay, it's based on Rings, the book Rings, I believe, by Koji Suzuki. Let me see. Screenplay is Hiroshi Takahashi, and runtime 95 minutes. Country Japan, and language Japanese, of course. So go check it out. Okay. Tell me what you guys think. You know, tell me what you guys think. If you guys want me to recommend more foreign scare movies, you know, I mean, I have a library full of them. That's why I can't think of a really good horror movie to say, because all of my favorite ones are either foreign or, you know, we can't find them anywhere. But if you guys can find Ringu, watch it. Fortune Knights. With that being said, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so. I'll leave a link in the description below. You know, you can chat, you can send memes, send pictures, also send ideas for the Minecraft episode that I have. You know, your ideas will become a part of the world. Also, if you guys have any horror stories, scary stories, or urban legends, or even folklore, let's put that in, that you guys want to share, you know, hit me up on Twitter with the hashtag the After Dark Podcast or hashtag TADP. Once again, it's hashtag the After Dark Podcast or hashtag TADP. And I will read them, and I will give full credit to whoever gives them to me, of course. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I made this one up. No, I'll give full credit to you. So, please do so. Share your stories. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can do so as well. I am an artist. I draw things, you know, things that I see in my head, or fan art. For example, this whole week up until tomorrow is fan art week for me, and normally I post every Wednesday and Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. California time, but since it is October, I am partaking in the Inktober challenge, which is me drawing every day and posting every day. And like I said, for me, this whole week was meant to be fan art, so I am posting fan art, you know, the fan art that I think it's interesting. Let me see, yesterday I posted some fan art from Pinkie Pie, from My Little Pony Equestria Girls. It's so hard to say really fast. And today I posted Frankenstein from the series Monster High. Pretty good series, I like it. I really do like it. A lot of inspiration came from that to my lineup, to my own lineup of Monster Girls. But if you guys want to see all that, you can do so in the, you know, you can follow me on Instagram. So if you do follow me on either one, I do appreciate. You guys are amazing. You know, if you like, this is the first time I say it, right? Because maybe season 1's gonna close out today and season 2 starts. But if you like what you hear every night for the rest of October, please do subscribe. I would deeply appreciate it. I not only do podcasts, but earlier on the day I do live stream a couple games. So if you guys want to see gameplay, just want to chill out, subscribe. I would appreciate you guys. I would appreciate you guys even more. Like, I'll give you guys even like a bigger hug. I don't know. And on that note, remember to always look under your bed. Check the closet for monsters. And always, look behind you. Because you may never know who's watching you from afar. Peace out, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a really good week. And hopefully you guys start a really good week. Good night.